Today I'm going to show you how to make coasters out of a piece of log. One of the things that you're going to need is a compound miter saw. The other thing you want to check before you start cutting is you want to make sure there's this little pointer right here, and then there's these numbers. This is the degree of the cut, and so you want it to be pointing at the 0, because if you have just a straight cut instead if you have it at an angle, you're not going to have them flat. And so if you have a 0 degree, you're going to have nice flat coasters. And then once you get the saw set up, you're going to need to take a piece of scrap lumber, and you're going to push it up against the rail. You're going to cut off a piece just to make sure that you got a nice flush edge. Now what you need to do is you need to take a tape measure, and you need to set it so that from the edge of the blade, the edge of the board to where the edge of the blade is a 1/2 inch. And then you hold it there and you clamp it in place so it doesn't move. And then you'll use this as a guide. You don't want to try to push the log flush against the rail, because it's not going to be flat. You got all kinds of imperfections like this, and it just goes up and down. So what you want to do is you want to make one clean straight cut across the log, and then you're going to make sure that nice straight cut is flush against your guide board. As much as possible, you want your coasters to be a consistent thickness. So you want this side to be as thick as this side, because if you have a slope on them, then they're going to sit like this, and your cups are going to slide off, and that's just no good. So that's why it's really important to have the saw set so that it's going to make a straight cut, and that's why it's important to have a guide on the saw so that every piece you cut is going to be straight, and that way you're going to wind up with nice flat coasters like this. Alright, now that we've got all of them cut, I'm going to show you how you go from this to this. Yeah, you're going to need several permanent markers. I choose black, but you could use red or green or blue or purple or any color under the sun if it makes you happy. And you're going to need some kind of a stencil, unless you're really, really good with freehand. Now, this isn't the greatest stencil in the world. I bought this at Walmart for less than $2, so you kind of get what you pay for. Hobby Lobby had already closed for the day, so I got this at Walmart. Now you can make them any way you want. You can either make it so that they go like this, or they go across like this, or you put them on the bottom. The main reason I put mine in the middle because I thought it looked nice. The only reason that I put family around like this instead of putting it straight, it's because it was too large and it wouldn't actually fit across here, so I had to put it across here to make it work. Mine say faith, family, love, hope, but you can make yours say whatever you want. You can put deer, you can put geese, you can put drawing of a coffee cup. It doesn't really matter. The end result will be the same. Just whatever you like. Now when you're drawing the characters on your coasters, try to keep them inside of this bark ring right here. It'll look better. and if you can, it'll center your word and make sure it all fits. If you're not sure if your entire word's going to fit or if you're going to have to put it around like this, it's good to draw it out on paper first so that you can, and then put the paper over it so you can see what size it is. Unless you're intentionally making them go in a circle, try to keep them on some kind of a straight line so it looks like what you did is deliberate. Now when you're writing out your letters or design or whatever using your stencil, be careful and try not to, some of these, if you're pushing on it, you can lift up and you'll put the marker slightly under it and you'll bleed under it and mess up your design. So try to just make sure you stay within the stencil. Now usually once you stencil, there's going to be a little bit, something like this, that you have to complete. So you just have to fill that in with your marker. Just be careful. And then when you line up the next letter, try to make sure it's in line with it, not like the S or off kilter or anything, because then it looks like you didn't even try. You want them to be, if you're making these for gifts or if you're making them to sell or making them for yourself even, you want them to look as nice as you possibly can. You want them to be I don't know, if you're anything like me, you want these to be something that when you're finished with it, you'll be proud of your work. Now for the next part, you need to do it in either a well-ventilated area, such as outside, or in the garage, preferably with the door open at least part of the way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray clear enamel over these on all sides, so that they don't soak up water, so that the designs don't run or anything like that. Also, at this point, it's important to mention that if you want to stain your coasters, you need to do that before you draw the design on it. Otherwise, the stain will make it run. And then if you're going to stain them, you stain them, let the stain dry completely, and then draw your design, and then spray. The other reason why, even if you're going to like brush or varnish or something on it, it's important to spray a thin clear coat on first so that you don't streak or smear or your design or make it run. Make sure that you shake your can for at least a minute or more if it's recommended by the manufacturer. When you spray these, you're going to have to spray one side, like you're going to spray the top and sides, and then let it dry completely before you flip it over and spray the other side. For spraying the sides, it also helps if you try to spray the sides before you spray the top, and then just try to avoid spraying your fingers if you can, or even better yet, wear plastic or rubber gloves. If you're going to paint these with varnish or something after, then you really only need to just spray a thin protective layer over where you've drawn your design. Well, now I've got all these finished. Made a couple of different variations of them here. Got them with different colors, and you can make them whatever color you want. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please click like down below and also subscribe so you'll be notified when I make new videos. Thanks for watching.